Let's start the year off on a high note by me not letting my tea go cold during this video. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the very first video of 2020. A brand new year, a brand new decade. I love the new year. I am one of those people that just gets the biggest kick out of turning over a new leaf and a fresh start and new beginnings. I just absolutely adore it. That's why I love the start of new months and new seasons and things like that. I just think there's so much more room for growth and for you to tick your goals off and all that kind of good stuff. So I hope you all had fun celebrating, whether you were in your PJs or in sequins, drinking champagne or drinking tea. Both seem like great options to me, if I'm honest. Today's video is, if you are new to the channel, my very first tea talk for 2020. I think this is like the best way to kick off the new year, actually. Like the 1st of January to have the tea talk. I just think that was like the best way that possibly could have landed. Basically, I just sit down and answer your guys' questions at the start of the month. We can have a little chit chat. Lots of you guys have asked really similar questions this month. A lot got to do with resolutions and goals for the year ahead and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm going to jump straight into it. I'm just going to go through as many as I can in no particular order. Okay, first question comes from Erica Rosales. I'm not sure if that's how you say your name. I'm sorry, Erica. I've actually had this question a couple of times, but you look so great lately. Thank you so much. Do you keep losing weight? Share your secrets. So, no. I haven't lost, I've lost like 2 pounds, but like nothing crazy, like nothing drastic or anything like that. The only thing that I can think maybe has changed is I've actually been able to get out for walks more often. Haven't been doing anything different with eating, still eating the exact same things, and I go out for walks maybe like 4 times a week. I always feel really bad when you guys ask me like, how often do I walk and how long do I walk for and how many kilometers do I walk for, because I literally can't tell you because it changes every time. I walk for as long as I want to walk because I like it. I don't do it because I have to exercise or I need to lose weight. That's not why I go out for walks. I go out for walks because I like my walks and I think it looks pretty outside and I think it's a really good way to clear your head, and I like listening to podcasts when I'm out on my walks and I feel really energized when I come back in. There's sometimes when I don't want to go out on a walk, but in my head I know I'm going to feel really good when I come back from it, and that's why I do it. And I feel like that's the same reasoning some people have behind going to the gym. I'm not much of a gym person, but I absolutely adore going for my walks, and as a like general rule of thumb, I probably walk 4 days a week for maybe like 45-50 minutes or so. But if I'm tired and I'm not feeling it, I walk for less. But that's literally it. I don't like do any exercise classes or spin or go to the gym or anything like that. I just walk and I eat a pretty healthy diet. Oh, this is a good one. Have you ever considered having a roommate? Where I am now, no, I don't really need a roommate, maybe unless I was like seeing someone or something like that. If I was in a relationship where I had a boyfriend maybe, but I don't really miss having anybody about. I see my friends all the time and I like my space and all that. If I was living in Dublin, 110%, because I would not be able to afford rent on my own anywhere because Dublin is quite expensive for renting. But where I am now, no, not really. If I had moved somewhere or if I move somewhere in the future this year, I don't know. And have I had roommates before? Yes, I have had roommates when I was living in college in Dublin, and I also lived with my ex as well. Oh, I forgot I answered some of these on Instagram, but like some of you guys don't follow me over there, so I'll answer some of those here because they were good. Savannah Raymer asks, favorite Christmas present you got and gave this year. I really liked this one. So my favorite present that I got this year was, I'm pretty sure you can all guess, my Smeg kettle. I freaking adore this kettle so much. I actually get excited when I wake up in the morning to go and make myself tea now because I love my kettle that much. It is so pleasing to look at and it makes a great cup of tea as well. And my favorite present that I gave this year was actually a present that I gave to my dad. So you guys know he's really into baking, and you're always asking for recipes and stuff like that for his breads. However, one, he is very tight-lipped about his recipes, and two, he always said that it's not really in the recipe, it's in the process of actually making it. Like, you can have the recipe, but it's how you do it that makes the difference. So sourdough breads are like the ultimate breads apparently in the bread world, and they can be really, really hard to do because you have to have a starter and blah blah blah. I know all of this because he talks about it all the time. Basically, I got him a book all about sourdough. It's not just about making like a bread, it's about making multiple different types of things, and it is written by a guy that was on the Great British Bake Off as well. He's been like had his head buried in the book since I got it for him for Christmas, so I'm really, really glad that I got it for him and he loves it. Another one that I answered on Instagram but I thought was really good is from Helena J. Taylor, and she says favorite takeaway order or cocktail. So my favorite takeaway, or like takeout I'm assuming it is, like food, is sushi. I love sushi. I love Mexican as well, but there's not really anywhere around that does Mexican food around me, but I adore sushi, and I love ebi tempura masago or a California roll or ebi gyoza. Oh, or salmon avocado rolls, they're really good too. And my favorite cocktails are cosmopolitans, or closely followed by, I love a margarita. Margaritas are really nice, and a mojito, but only if it's a really, really good mojito. I'm a tough judge of a cocktail in general, if I'm honest, but a mojito I find is one that's really hard to get right, or one that I've just had a bad one of, possibly a lot. Okay, I'll answer this one now as well because I've had it like 5,000 different times. But what are my New Year's resolutions and plans for the year, and how I plan to achieve them? So basically at the start of every, or at the end of every year should I say, I actually did this yesterday or last night. I sit down with a notebook, like just with a blank page of a notebook, and I write down kind of 2 different headings. I do work and I do life, and I do health as well. I basically just write down things that not that I want to achieve, it's like I write them down in the form of I will do this, because I feel like that's like a positive affirmation. Does that make any sense? So like, for example, I will read 1 book a month in 2020 instead of I want to or I hope to. I feel like if you write I will, that's like a certain thing, it's gonna happen, and you're putting it out there that it will. And I think sometimes when you write down these things, you think about them more and they're like clearer in your head and in your thoughts, so you're more intentional in trying to achieve them without actually really knowing it. I mentioned this before, but I did this last year as well, and so many of the things that I had written down I managed to achieve this year. Like, I'm so proud of myself, it's actually ridiculous. So that's what I do at the end of every year. I just split it into 3 categories. I suppose a couple of the things that I have, like it's really hard for me to say like my work goals and my life goals and stuff, because they're like personal, if you know what I mean. And I feel like sometimes if I share them too much, I'm that type of person that thinks that they share things, they're not gonna happen. There are just people like that, and I am one of those people. But definitely things like, I do want to read 1 book a month this year. That is it. And it's not I want to listen to an audiobook a month this year. I want to actually read 1 book a month this year. However, I do love listening to audiobooks. They're just like extras, if you know what I mean. They're great when you don't have the time, but I really want to make it a goal of mine to read 1 book a month. I also want to 110%, I am brushing up on my French this year. I mentioned this already like a couple of weeks ago in a routine video that I was doing. I'm still doing my Skillshare classes and keeping brushed up on it, but je pense que je suis plus rentable. If I have any French speaking followers or French followers in general, please tell me if I'm doing any good. I always say as well that I want to travel to at least 1 place that I have never been before. One of the places that we're kind of putting out there for this year is possibly Mexico. I've never been to South America, and I'm thinking of traveling to Mexico with 2 of my friends. If you guys are watching, I'm voicing it now, so it has to happen. And I also really want to do some more small trips around Europe. I would love to see Budapest, I would love to see Copenhagen, I'd love to go to Switzerland, I'd love to go to Vienna. There's so many places that I want to go. I've never been to Germany. I also, unsurprisingly, really want to grow my channel more. 2019 was a huge year for me and this channel. I'm getting goosebumps even thinking about it right now. I cannot believe how much my channel grew in the second half of the year. It was just absolutely incredible, and I could not ask for better subscribers. I know people say this all the time, but I genuinely think I have the most amazing people watching my channel, and I feel like I know you guys so well that you are just so like me, because I talk to you on Instagram, I talk to you in the comments here. It's like my favorite thing to do, but I really want to grow my channel some more this year, and I don't know, I have a really good feeling about my channel for 2020. I think it's going to be amazing. Oh, Rihanna Noel says, will you try something new with your hair in 2020? I'm thinking platinum blonde. Yes. I don't think I'm gonna go blonde. I actually was very close to going a lot lighter in maybe September-ish time, but I decided against it and I just kind of kept my dark locks. I'm not gonna cut my hair. I like my hair the length that it is. It's been shorter before. I possibly might cut it like to that maybe, but I would still have extensions in for thickness. But I just love my hair so much. Actually, a lot of you have been asking if I've done anything different with my hair, but I haven't. I'm using some new products maybe, and I had it dyed like 5 or 6 weeks ago. Like, it's not freshly dyed or anything like that, but maybe I've been styling it a bit different. When I've been straightening my hair, I've been kind of like flicking it in at the bottom, so maybe that's what it is, but I haven't done anything different with my hair. Oh, Mimi Bird asks, other than YouTube, do you have any other hobbies? I would say another hobby of mine is cooking and baking. Mostly cooking though, if I'm honest. I love to cook. It's honestly one of my favorite things to do at the end of the day. My breakfast and my lunch are always fairly similar. Generally, I'll always have eggs for my breakfast or porridge, and I'll have a salad for my lunch. But for dinner, I like kind of changing it up, and whenever I do share those recipes with you guys. So if I haven't shared one in a while, it's because I haven't done anything different. But yeah, I love to cook. I absolutely love it. I love eating out. I love trying new restaurants. I love trying new cafes. Those are honestly some of my favorite things to do with my friends, is to go out and eat. Oh, this is a good one from Angela Cotter. Is there anything that didn't work out for you in your life, but you're now glad that it didn't? Yeah, 110%. If you've been following me for a while, I did mention this in a Q&A last year, maybe the year before. Sorry, I got cut off there. I was in a relationship about 3 years ago, a long-term relationship, a very serious relationship, and I said in that Q&A that I didn't want to talk about it anymore because it just happened so long ago, and I've really moved so far on from it that it's just like strange to talk about it now. But everybody has exes and everybody has relationships that didn't work out, but that one in particular, my life would not be what it is now had I still have been in that relationship, and I'm so happy and so positive, and I feel like I really found myself after that, if I'm honest. Like, just having spent time on my own, I feel like you really need to be comfortable in your own self and not depend on anybody else, whether that's a relationship or your parents or your friends or anything like that, for your happiness. You shouldn't place your happiness in anybody else but yourself. Yeah, that's one thing 110% in my life that I'm glad didn't work out. Even things like college and stuff like that. Like, I was supposed to go to college to study law. I decided really last minute that that wasn't what I wanted to do, and I studied English and history instead. Even though I'm not using that degree whatsoever, I always have it. I always wanted to go to college, and I'm so glad that I did it. If I went and did law, I think my life would have been totally different, because I think I might have actually followed that. Whereas at the end of my English and history degree, there was no specific thing that I had to do, if you know what I mean. There was no actual career at the end of it. I would have had to go on for another year to be a teacher at that stage. So yeah, things like that. Even, there's so many things in your life. I really am a true believer of everything happens for a reason, 110%. So yeah, those are some of the things that I am glad didn't happen in my life, because my life wouldn't be what it is now if they did. Oh, I actually really like this one, and this is one that a couple of you guys have asked, but this one is from Dots and she says, favorite new beauty product of 2019. So I answered I think 3 of these, and I said that they were either new or new to me. So my top 3 would 110% be the I said that really weird, Urban Decay Naked Honey palette. I absolutely adore adore that palette and highly recommend it to any of you guys. The Precisely My Brow Pencil from Benefit. I think this was like the first year that I started using brow pencils because I was using powders before that. So this year was the year of the brow pencil, and this year was also the year of blush for me. And my other favorite blush from this year was my new Quad from Hourglass. I can show you, I actually have it sitting here. It's absolutely stunning. I'm like completely obsessed with it. And two of those, the two palettes that I just mentioned, were things from the back end of this year, but those three are my top 3 favorite new makeup products, or new to me makeup products for 2019. Absolutely love them. This is another one that I've been asked a lot recently. Am I seeing anybody? Don't know why, but I think I've missed something. Nope. I feel like I have to answer this question every month. I swear to God, you guys, it's actually crazy. As soon as I put a question out on Instagram, generally the first question I get asked is, am I seeing somebody or am I in a relationship? Oh, this one's lovely. This one's from Lauren Branch, and she says, what was your favorite thing about Christmas this year? Honestly, my favorite thing about Christmas this year was getting to spend so much time with my family and friends. I actually haven't had a Christmas in so long that I have got to spend this much time with my family and friends, and I've had so many good nights out with the girls, so many lovely family dinners, family lunches, my holiday over to New York with my mum. Generally every other year I would have been working every single weekend and all over the Christmas break with makeup. Thankfully this year I've been able to take a little bit of a step back with makeup. I still do it and everything, but I just was able to take a little bit of a step back around Christmas time. But it's just been amazing actually having time. Time is precious, you guys. It's so precious, and I know that's a very cheesy thing to say, but I have fully embraced the amount of time that I've got to spend with my family and friends, and I feel so happy. And I think that's like, if you can feel happy, I think it's the best thing in the whole entire world. Oh yeah, I've been asked this one a lot recently actually. For some reason, I think all of you have just started to realize that I had a music channel. Even though I have mentioned it before, it's not anything that I've been trying to hide or anything. I have said that's how I got started on YouTube. It was by uploading covers when I was like 16 or something like that. So I've been on YouTube, maybe 15. I have been on YouTube for a long time, and it's just kind of like evolved into what it is today. This question says, I saw your covers on YouTube. Why don't you sing anymore? You're very talented and have a very beautiful voice. Thank you so much. I do sing, I just don't sing on YouTube anymore. I sing all the time, like when I'm in the car or whatever. I started like including those bits in my vlogs and stuff like that. I can't really do that too often, just purely because of like copyright on YouTube. I can't really. I actually was pursuing music at one stage, like when I was really young, when I was maybe 17, 18. I just didn't really like the industry. It wasn't for me at that time. I don't know whether it was of my age or it just wasn't for me. I didn't enjoy it. I think I started to not like it because of that, if you know what I mean. So I started to fall out of love with actual singing, and honestly for like a year, 2 years or something like that, I just didn't want to do it anymore because of different things that had happened throughout that kind of period when I was pursuing it. But I absolutely love it now. I still like blare music around the house and sing at the top of my lungs around the house and singing bits in the vlog and stuff like that, but I just don't really upload much. I haven't uploaded on my music channel in years and years. But yeah, that's kind of it. I just don't do it. But thank you so much all the same. I'm really flattered that you like my voice. Oh, Fiona asked, hi Grace, my question is, if you were a character in Love Actually, who would you be? Do you want me to tell you something that you're probably all going to be shocked about? I have never seen Love Actually, so I have no idea. Okay, I'll end on this one, and it is from Abby Wild, and she says, any Ireland weekend getaway recommendations? You guys always ask me for recommendations for Dublin, for Ireland. I am not the expert on the entire country, unfortunately, but I can definitely recommend places that I've been myself. I would 110% recommend Galway, Kilkenny and Killarney. And insofar as Dublin for recommendations, if you follow me on Instagram, I actually have a highlight on my page, my Instagram page, purely dedicated to places and things that I go to and do in Dublin, so that you guys can kind of like pick up little tips and stuff of places to go, places to eat and all that kind of good stuff. So if you're following me over on Instagram, make sure to check that out if you have a trip planned over here, if you're coming to Dublin. There's some really good foodie recommendations, places where I shop, places where I just hang about, things like that, if you want to see. But yeah, that is about it. I am going to wrap up this month's tea talk here. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I hope you all have an absolutely amazing 2020, an amazing start to the year, and I will see you all again very, very soon for my next video. Bye!